Alright, so we continue solving. This one looks like a quadratic equation, but let's still try. Making 9 and 3 to have the same base. 9 will be 3 raised to power 2. And we have x minus 1 over 2 waiting. 3 is still x raised to power 2. Okay, that's 2. And the basis will leave. And if you send the 2 in, you have 2x minus 2 times 1 over 2 will give you 1 equals to x squared. Now this looks quadratic already, so let's rearrange. We have 0 here, x squared minus 2x plus 1, which implies, of course, that x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equals to 0. Okay, so what we need to do now is to factorize this quadratic, and the two numbers that we are looking for is plus 1 and minus 2. Two numbers that will multiply to get plus 1, they are minus 1 and minus 1. So we drop the first one, x minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, we continue solving. So we have x minus 1 and x minus 1 equals to 0. From here, x will be equal to plus 1 and x will be equal to plus 1. The both side will be plus 1. It's plus 1 that when substituted in that bracket will give you the bracket to be equal to 0. Or you can see if we equate it to 0 and solve, we'll have it as x equal to 0 plus 1, which eventually gives you plus 1. So that's how it's obtained. Alright, so that's how we solve that question. You can rewind if you don't understand. Look further for more examples. You can surely more are coming on the way. Give it a thumbs up if you like the video. Just click the like buttons for me. Then subscribe if you like the channel as well. Thank you. Let's continue solving more problems. Let's see how to solve this other problem. Here we make 9 to be expressed in base 3, so that we can define 3 raised to power y. So there we have 3 raised to power 2, that's your 9 raised to power y, minus 4 raised to power 3 raised to power y, of course, plus 3, and it was equal to 0. Now we rearrange these powers. You can have it as 3 raised to power y, then send it to outside, minus 3 raised to power y plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, next we need to do is define. So let 3 raised to power y be equal to x. That notes will now have x squared minus 4x plus 3 equals to 0. Okay, let's factorize now. X squared minus 4x plus 3 equals to 0. Now the two numbers we are looking for is plus 3, factors of plus 3 and minus 4. And the numbers that will go for that is minus 1 and minus 3. So that's minus 1 and minus 3. So that minus 1 times minus 3 will give you plus 3, and minus 1 plus minus 3 will give you minus 4. So on that note, we are going to use minus 1 and minus 3. So we take shortcut, minus 1 minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, I am allowed to take shortcut because the coefficient of the highest variable here is 1. A is 1 here. So from the first bracket, x will be equal to plus 1. And from the second bracket, x will be equal to plus 3. Alright, so we are not done. Remember we said let 5, is it 3 raised to power, let 3 raised to power y be equal to x. That was what we said before. So now 3 raised to power y is equal to, first value is 3. Let's take 3. It tells us that our y must be equals to 1. The second case, when x is equal to 1, let's substitute for that. So 3 raised to the power y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 1, what will be the value of y? Our 1 here can be written as 3 raised to the power 0. So it therefore tells us that our y will be equal to 0 using laws of same base that allows us to equate the powers. All we needed to do was to transform the 1 to something applicable in indices in questions like this. So the value we have for y is 0 and 1. Y is equal to 0 and y is equal to 1. These are the possible values of y. Thank you. I hope you understand the concept. If you need to rewind, feel free to do that so I can get better understanding. Drop your comments and your suggestion where necessary. Like the video if you enjoy the content, and consider subscribing as well if you don't mind. Let's continue solving more problems. This is Tambari. Alright, so we continue solving. For this, all we need to do here is express 16 to be in base 4, and that will be 4 raised to power 2. Of course, the x was there, minus 5 times 4 raised to power x plus 4, of course, equals to 0. So we will need to exchange these powers. Take the s in and take the 2 out. So we'll have it as 4 raised to power x all squared minus 5 raised to power x, 5 raised to power nothing, that's 4 raised to power x plus 4 equals to 0. We say let 4 raised to power x be equals to y. So we now have it as y squared minus 5y plus 4 and is equal to 0. Okay, so let's factorize this. Y squared minus 5y plus 4 equals to 0. So what are the possible numbers? We are looking at plus 4 and minus 5. So we should be dealing with minus 4 and minus 1. So that minus 4 times minus 1 will give us plus 4. Minus 4 plus minus 1 will give us minus 5. So we have y minus 4, y minus 1 equals to 0. Okay, from here we notice that y should be equal to plus 4, and also y should be equal to plus 1. Okay, we are not done. Remember we said let our 4 raised to power x be y. So remember we said 4 raised to power x should be equal to y. So for the first value of x, we have 4, and using law of same base, it tells us that x must be equal to 1. The second value of x is for 4 raised to power x equals to 1. 4 raised to power x, 1 can be written as 4 raised to power 0. Using law of same base, it tells us that our x will be equal to 0. So these are the two possible values of x. X will be equal to 1 or 0. Okay, these are the possible values that will satisfy that equation or make the equation true. I hope you enjoy the content. Give it a thumbs up, please, and consider subscribing if you don't mind. Thank you for watching. This is Tambari. Bye. See you in my next video.